No, where am I? I've woken up in some kind of weird shower, pantry, fridge, kitchen place. What the fuck's going on? And why am I chained to a shower fridge?
Hello, Mike.
Who's that?
You don't know me, but I know you.
Oh, fuck.
You've spent all your time mocking shower fridges and bathroom pantries.
Yeah, because the shit...
All the while, you yourself own a cellar latrine.
I don't. I don't.
That's besides the point.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Either way, you've got to face punishment.
Is this Christian Grey?
Is this room red?
No.
There's your answer. Shut up.
Okay.
Now, you must endeavour to sell Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds merchandise.
Hey?
All while washing that pan with the scrubbing brush and the cartons of milk provided.
Wait a minute. I think who I know who this is. Is that you, Mum? No, it's not me, Mum. Is that you, Andy?
No? Why would you think that?
Because Andy's the only person I know with a shower fridge and a bathroom pantry.
Damn, he's onto me. Away!
Oh, it's you! Oh, hello. Hello. How are you?
Trying to get you to sell 50-Foot Nerds merchandise.
Okay, well, I'll do that then for you. Well, if anyone does want to buy some 50-Foot Nerds merchandise and keep Andy fully stocked up in his shower, pantry, bathroom fridge, then you know what to do. You can buy T-shirts from us. They're just £15. Just send us an email, and we'll send you the PayPal link. You've got a choice of 10 fantastic T-shirts to choose from. They've all got the 50-Foot Nerd logo on the front, and on the back they have a range of slogans and sayings, which Andy, my captor, will now reveal.
Yes. The first one you can buy says Goosh.
I can't be bothered with this voice, actually.
Okay.
The second one would be He Be Graveyard Dead.
Which is what you will be if you don't complete your task, Mike.
The third one is They All Float Down Here.
Which will be your body when I dispose of it, Mike.
I'd jizz on that for $1.
Which is what I will do to your body, Mike.
I've Got Sexy Hands.
Which I will use to cut up your body, Mike.
Yes. Ghost Hawk.
Who is not coming to save you, Mike? Yarg! Which is the noise you'll make as you die, Mike!
The Whippety Thwip. Which has
no relation to this at all, Mike.
It could possibly be the sound of Stanley masturbating to your death.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, I love a shower fridge.
I love me some stuff.
Pass me that. I don't have enough lubricants. I don't know where the voice went.
Username Excelsior69 has logged out.
The ninth T-shirt is No. Why? Which was probably what you were asking at the beginning of this advert, Mike. And the last one, because we were doing this until I shoved you in a shower fridge, was Tap Dancing on Gravel since 2012.
And you'll be buried under the gravel in the back garden.
Mike.
Yes, well, that's it. And of course, as well, we've also got some iPhone 4/4S cases with the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds logo on. Not iPhone 5 cases, because let's face it, who wants an iPhone 5? They're just like iPhone 4s, but it's slightly taller. So,
iPhone 5, like iPhone 4S,
but bigger.
Apple should hire us to make their adverts. They'd all be like this. Like, hello, you're in a shower pantry. I'd like to play a game. Figure out how the iPhone 5 is better than the 4S, or die!
Coming soon to the iPhone 5, the Saw app. Woken up chained to a shower pantry. There's an app for that. Well, again, if you want to buy any of these things, just email us and we'll start the ball rolling from there. And don't forget, if you do buy merchandise from us, then you get your hands on the super secret sexy bonus podcast. So yay for that.
That may or may not involve shower fridges.
You'll just have to wait and find out. So
Indeed.
That's what to do then. So Andy, will you let me go now?
Did you wash the pan with the milk?
If I say yes, will you check?
Probably not.
Then yes.
All right.
Hooray! Go buy some stuff. God, our habits get stranger every week.
Yes, they do. I didn't expect it turning into us going, iPhone 5s, but bigger! People should totally hire us to make adverts.
Oh, dude.
iPhone 5. Tastes like chicken if chicken was an iPhone 5.
Leave a nice plate of iPhone 5 on the side for Benedict.
What?
I said leave a nice plate of iPhone 5 on the side for Benedict.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm dying.
Hello, Andy. You let me free, but now I poisoned you.
What, in the vodka?
If you like.
What kind of an answer is that?
I forgot. It's something you didn't know drunk. I can't quite remember. I just...
Wait a minute, aren't you Batman?
Maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. I may not be the poisoner you want, but I'm the poisoner you deserve. Now tell me where!
Ah, Mr. Wayne. I see you've tried to stick me into a shower fridge.
Yeah, and? Your point?
You merely adopted the shower fridge. I was born in it. I'm sorry I couldn't keep that up.
I adopted Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but for some reason it's a bit weird when a man adopts a 27-year-old policeman. But whatevs.
Whatever?
Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to take 8 years off. Goodbye.
Oh no, wait, it's Batman.
Batman was found dead today.
What?
Of boredom. For sitting in the Batcave for 8 years waiting for something to happen.
Apparently someone stuck him in a shower fridge.
Batman's desiccated corpse was found inside a shower fridge today.
The only clue of his demise was the message scrawled on the wall. iPhone 5's like a 4S but bigger.
Oh, Apple, you be the bane of my existence. Well, I think we found our pre-credits this week.
That entire thing.
Oh, God.
They came like a bolt out of the blue to discuss everything in geekdom. When Andy and Mike get together, it is the attack of the 50-foot nerds.
Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast. My name is Giggly Mike Bell, and with me is my nitrous oxide of a co-host. Nice to meet you again.
My name is Mr. Flibble.
Mr. Flibble's very cross with you.
Because I stole his
Yes.
name. It's alright, I'll just stick him in the shower.
That's what that was. He wasn't actually in the stasis field in Red Dwarf. He was just in the shower.
Yeah.
How long was he
Any
in there?
point during the
3
show-
million years, Dave. No wonder I've got wrinkly fingers.
If any of you listening here, in the background, that's me throwing Mr. Flibble into a shower fridge.
Actually, that neatly ties us back into our guest announcer we had last week, Norman Lovett. Hope everyone listened to that and enjoyed his inane ramblings. I certainly did, but then I was quite drunk at the time when we recorded it, so that was fun.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that
Have you
yet.
not heard that yet? I've not listened to it. I'll wait.
What now?
No, it's okay. You can listen to it later in the shower fridge. Well, people, as I said, this is the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast. If you want to get involved in our inane ramblings, shower fridges, and bathroom pantries, then you know what to do. You can get us on Twitter, which is at 50footnerds. Email us, 50footnerds@gmail.com, or go on the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds. So we'll be putting all the YouTube links to our 50-foot commentaries, well, not 50-foot commentaries, the trailers, any pictures we talk about during the show, anything like that. You'll find it all on our Facebook page. And it's at this point where I just talk to Andy and say, "What you been doing this week, bitch?"
Well, I spent Sunday waiting for you.
Yeah.
Or was it Sunday? Yeah. I don't know. But, well, I've been organising comics, cleaning out the shower fridge.
For the next dead body.
Indeed.
Why would you shoot a man before putting him in the shower fridge?
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that. What else? Trying to write more rap, and it's other stuff.
Well,
Lots of masturbate
okay. Well, there we go.
in the shower fridge.
Ew. I'm not having a pint of milk at your house.
Who said it was
Why
milk?
are you milking these jars? Shouldn't milk be in bottles? All faithful. Stop calling you Howard.
Why does this say Jack Michelson on it?
I am Gopher Boy. There's a reference to anyone who... 10 points to anyone who can get that reference. Yeah. Well, sounds like a fun-filled, action-packed week.
Wow.
I went out on Saturday, went around a few pubs and what have you, went for something to eat. That was nice. Let's see what else did I do. I saw the new DC animated movie this week, Dark Knight Returns Part 1. Oh. Anyone who hasn't seen it yet, go and see it right now. Seriously, just turn this off, come back to us later, go and watch it, because it's brilliant. Anyone who was slightly disappointed by Dark Knight Rises, which I was, this totally makes up for it. This is everything Dark Knight Rises should have been. Oh, God. I actually shed a few tears at one point. I was watching it, and it's the bit where, I mean, spoiler alert, but if, you know, the book's been out for like 20 years now, but whatever.
Activate the spoiler cannon.
Yeah, the book's been out for like 20 years, so you know. But the bit where Batman is fighting the mutant leader, and he gets saved by the new Robin, Carrie Kelly, and she puts him in the Batmobile, and oh god, it's getting me again just talking about it. He's lying on this table, and he's all like knackered and stuff, and she's having to put his arm back in his socket. It's been pulled out, and Alfred's on the intercom saying, you know, I don't think she should be in here, and Batman's like, shut up, dickhead. He's like, we're going back to the Batcave, and God, and he says to the girl, he says, what's your name? She starts by saying it's Carrie, and then she says, no, it's Robin, and he goes, he says, my name's Bruce. And just that bit, I was just like, oh, and Alfred's like, sir, you're delirious, don't tell her this. And he's like, fuck off, dickhead. And he says, take the car needs to come back to the Batcave, and Robin's coming with us. And just as soon as he like literally said that, it was like he accepts her as Robin. I burst into tears. I was just like, oh, she's Robin, she's the new Robin. Oh god, it was just so good. But the worst part is, though, I've now got to wait like a best part of a year for Dark Knight Returns Part 2 to come out. Because they only covered the first 2 books in this, and the other 2 books are going to be in the second one. Which is, if anyone knows the Dark Knight Returns book, is the first story is about Harvey Dent, Two-Face, or One-Face, or whatever he's calling himself in it. And then there's the stuff with the mutants, the leader of the mutants. That's the second book. And then the third book is the Joker, and then the fourth book is Superman. So we've got that to look forward to in that. And the fellow who's playing the Joker, he's only got one line in Dark Knight Returns Part 1. He's going to have a lot more to do in number 2, but it's played by Michael Emerson, who people may know as Ben Linus from Lost. Yeah, He's playing the Joker.
Is he any good?
Yeah, so he's only got one line in Dark Knight Returns Part 1, because the Joker's catatonic for the first part of it, and it's only at the end when he finds out that Batman's back that he kind of like comes back to life. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so go and watch that movie because it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
Yes, yeah, and it's literally, the artwork is like watching that book come to life. It's scary how accurate it is. It's brilliant. Even got,
I definitely have to watch this then.
Definitely check that out. It's even got Fat Batman in it. Yeah.
What?
Because he's been he's taken 10 years off, but you know, not in a fucking oh god, I'm just gonna wander around my house kind of way. But, like, he's actually been doing stuff, you know, in these 10 years, but he's put on a lot of weight in that. So by the time he gets back in the back costume, he's fucking huge and he's out of shape and stuff. But yeah, he gets back into it fairly quickly. Yeah, so that's that. Go and watch that.
I will indeed.
You will. Should we talk about people?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Shriek in terror! It's time to discuss people in geekdom.
Okay, well, our first person in geekdom this week, it's good old guy that we haven't talked about for a little while, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. You okay, Andy? There's no need to jizz yourself over Arnie.
It's like coming.
What?
Do you still not get that? I say that every single time we talk about Arnie. And it's like, because he said that whole thing in his exercise DVDs where he's like, exercise is like coming. Right. And you're like, alright, calm down.
I know what you mean.
He's like,
yeah. Well, Arnie's said this week he's got his book coming out, which is so imaginatively titled Total Recall. And he says in his new book that his wife, well, rather his ex-wife, Maria Shriver, knew all about his secret love child, the one that he shagged his maid, and had that child with. essentially. Now, it's reported by TMZ that in his new book, he admits that Trevor confronted him in couples therapy the day after he left his seat as governor. Oh, that was nice of her. So he's there giving it all that for years, going, yeah, I run California, yeah. Literally the day after he steps down, she's like, I know you've got a kid, so fuck you. I was like, oh, that's nice of you. Fucking ride the coattails for a couple of years. You know? Where he says that he initially came up with a bunch of excuses when Trevor asked him if he'd slept with the maid, but eventually he said, yeah, yes, it was me, yeah, I fucked the shit out of her. Yeah. So now they're separated, when they have been for quite some time since this story first broke, and they have no plans to get back together. So now he can fuck every maid that he sees.
Indeed.
So there you go. Arnold Schwarzenegger can't keep his dick in his pants.
He can keep them in your pants.
Can't keep his eyes in his head either, apparently, on the surface of Mars.
Yeah!
I'll kill you. Yeah. Right, well, next we've got a story about a good friend of ours that we need to discuss, which is good old Stan Lee.
And now, Mr. Marvel himself, Stan Lee.
Okay, and it's been announced this week that Stan will be cancelling any upcoming appearances for the near future. It's...
Dun, dun, dun.
Indeed. Stan has... Well, basically it was announced by his people that he wouldn't be able to attend the Wizard World convention. That was... he's also said that he's not going to be able to attend the Ohio Comic Con or the Toledo Lucas County Public Library Authors event on the 27th of September, which was the one I was really looking forward to seeing him at, to be honest with you. I was going to head down there, yeah. It's a shame. The guy's 89 years old, and he's had to cancel the event due to a very serious circumstance.
It's us.
Well,
we've talked about him so much, we've killed him.
No, we haven't. Don't say that. We love Stan Lee. We love Stan Lee. No.
Yeah, but look at the facts, man. The facts.
No, I know the facts are that we seem to have some kind of voodoo doll effect on people that we talk about. Rob Liefeld. But, you know, it's the guy's, you know, he's a legend. We don't want him to die just yet, so please be well, Stan.
No, because he's got so many more stories to tell us, and so many more times that we can go, oh boy, I've got caught with a dick out of my pants.
Well, they caught me with the hooker, but I was just giving her a ride to the nearest, liquor store. That's what I was doing. My dick happened to be out of my pants. She fell over looking for some dime she dropped down the car seat. It was a whole hullabaloo. The fact that she was a man, I had no idea. Excelsior.
I remember once talking to this woman, and she was like, I like the thing. And I was like, oh, really? And I flopped out my cock. And she's like, and she was all, wow, I don't really like old man penis. And then he's like, and now I was, well, you haven't seen it when it gets really angry.
You wouldn't like it when it's angry.
It turns big and green. And it jizzes poisonous gamma rays.
I call it the abomination. And you will obey me, and all shall obey the leader. Excelsior.
It's a pity the Ravagers aren't a DC team rather than a Marvel team.
It's like, I call it the Ravagers. Oh boy.
Well, we do have the Invaders.
Yeah, true.
Well, as I say, Stan, get well soon, mate. If you are indeed ill, we just don't know. All we've been told is it's a grave circumstance. So, apparently he pulled out of the Hero Complex Film Festival.
He's not hunting us down, is he?
Oh boy, I certainly hope not. Oh god, it's the Hunger Games starring Stan Lee.
What we'll walk out of next week. One of us will be recording, going, yeah, the other host can't be with us this week because they got shot in the chest by Stan Lee with a crossbow.
This week's Stan Lee news is Stan Lee has been arrested for murder for killing Andy Weir.
Why is it always me?
Because I gotta do the voice.
Fair point.
Kill you, Andy.
Not before I get you in my shower fridge. Come here, you old bastard.
I watch you while you sleep.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
Oh, boy, my friend. I'm up on manslaughter. Maybe that's why he can't go. Maybe he's been he's
been arrested because he's travelled into the future.
It's in connection. He killed Michael Clark Duncan. He didn't like him being the king.
Oh boy, you suck as the king.
I gotta save the Daredevil. I'm the new Foggy Nelson.
Jesus.
Oh.
Maybe now I'll get the respect I deserve.
I want a fucking costume. Oh, man. Oh, Stan, you're so crazy.
I want an iPhone 5.
They're like iPhone 4s, but bigger.
But bigger.
Oh, what's next? What's next? We're going to be talking about someone...
People getting killed.
Yes, we're talking about people getting killed. We're going to move on to someone who be graveyard dead. My son is dead. My son is graveyard dead.
Graveyard dead.
Graveyard dead. It seems their crew member passed away while setting up for an underwater stunt on Friday during the shooting of the Lone Ranger movie. Disney have released a statement, and as it's been released from Disney, we shall use the Insider to discuss that statement.
Wait, where is it?
He's the old woman voice.
Oh, there's
it's
the
the Emperor Palpatine.
No, because the Emperor Palpatine is like, join the dark side.
You're Emperor Palpatine, but my one is, the battle station will be quite operational when your friends arrive. That's my Emperor. The fucking piss-takey Emperor. Yeah.
We regretfully confirm
The
that
people will destroy the planet Earth.
That a Lone Ranger crew member has passed away after being taken to a local hospital. Our hearts and thoughts are with his family, friends, and colleagues at this time, and our full support is behind the investigation into the circumstances of this terrible event. Now somebody get me my maple syrup.
And a young boy from the Philippines. No, it's...
And a 20-pence sweet.
Well, no, it's a 48-year-old man. The name hasn't been released. He was found dead at 10 a.m. on Friday. He was cleaning the pool that was going to be used in the film, and apparently he suffered a heart attack. So, yeah. What's that to tell you? Is that this movie is cursed. It is, because this film should never be made. I've heard what this film is about, and it's not a Lone fucking Ranger movie. I'm sorry, but it's not. And Johnny Depp is not Tonto. He's fucking the Crow, apparently, according to this picture. So there we go. Yeah. So words to wise, don't work on the Lone Ranger movie. Finally, this week is we are going to be talking. It's a whiny bitch alert. Okay, this week's whiny bitch is the Vatican.
What?
Yes.
Are they not always whiny bitches?
Yes, but this week the whiny bitch is in a geek form because they've been moaning about Prometheus, that movie. You know that one.
The one that we were supposed to talk about that time.
That's the one. Yes. It says that Prometheus has been criticised by, oh god, how the fuck do you pronounce that? L'Osservatore Romano, the newspaper that serves as a semi-official source for the news of the Vatican.
They have their own newspaper.
Their own fucking police force. The Vatican City isn't a city, it's a country. It's one of the smallest countries on Earth.
It is, and it's also the country in the world with. Hey?
Stop saying the cunt.
It's also the country that has the lowest age of consent. Seriously, the age of consent in the Vatican is 12.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. If there's a grass on the pitch, you play a ball. That's what the Roman people of Vatican City would be saying. Well, that newspaper with the crazy name that I'm not going to try and pronounce again, they've hit out at Ridley Scott's Alien prequel for mishandling the delicate questions raised by the battle eternal between good and hang on, no, I'll do this in like a god voice. Okay. They've hit out at Ridley Scott's Alien prequel for, and this is a quote from God himself, for mishandling the delicate questions raised by the battle eternal between good and evil in yet another attempt to steal the secret of immortality. The Journal of Prometheus should instead symbolize the search of the supernatural, rather for the supernatural.
That's stupid.
So basically, they're moaning because in the film, they're going for the creators of mankind, and instead they're saying they should just be going to look for aliens. But the aliens in the fucking film apparently created mankind. So, I'm really fucking confused here now. They did go looking for aliens, but these aliens happen to be the creators of mankind. So they did exactly what the Vatican want them to do, was go and look for aliens. It just so happens that this is what the aliens did.
It's because the Vatican are fucking stupid.
Well, yeah. But, you know, it's like, I mean, really? The Vatican, you're moaning about this movie that came out fucking months ago. Why have you waited till now?
True.
You know what I mean? The movie came out, what? It was like May or June or something like that. So it's like 4 months ago now. So why? I just don't understand why you've waited this long. Bit strange. So, oh well. You know, you don't see them moaning about Indiana Jones, saying, oh, he shouldn't be looking for the Ark of the Covenant, oh.
Indeed.
Indy? What? Indiana, what dog?
It's a dog's name!
Oh, right. Well, that's...
And,
yeah?
Yeah, before we do that, I just saw on the sidebar there was a picture of Evangeline Lilly.
Yes.
From in The Hobbit. I just opened that. I was like, ooh.
Well, we're not on the film section yet. We shall...
I know.
Okay. We shall now move to the film section.
Thrills and chills abound in movie news.
And our first bit of news this week is the first picture of Evangeline Lilly came out. No, this really wasn't on the list, but we'll talk about that anyway, seeing as Andy's brought it up. I wouldn't say it was...
I mainly opened it because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot she was in it, and then when I opened it, I was like, she actually makes quite a hot elf.
Yeah, she's playing Toriel, which is an elf that's been created for the movie, and if rumours have believed, that the character played by the dude from Being Human, apparently he falls in love with her, and there's a bit of a romance story. That's what the rumours are anyway.
It'd be a backstory because none of that's ever mentioned.
No, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. She's a character created for the movie. I mean, there is no love story in The Hobbit, so after shoot.
Which reminds me, I've been listening to the Hobbit audiobook because me and Connor have been listening to it in the car, and I'm really.
Is it the BBC radio dramatisation?
I don't think
because
so.
That's the guy who plays. Oh no, it's Lord of the Rings, isn't it? No, it's okay. Forget it. Forget I said it then. It's fine.
Because we were listening, and I was, I'm hoping that for at least some of it, it does have the voiceover. Because if not, it's going to lose some of the stuff, like especially at the beginning where it's like talking about hobbits, and then it's like he stops halfway through a sentence and goes, "What's a hobbit?" Well, a hobbit is blah blah blah. Like, especially the bit where he's talking about the great old Took or whatever his name is, where he's like, he he was so tall he could ride a normal horse, and he fought off a goblin king and knocked his head off with his club and knocked it straight into a rabbit hole. And he simultaneously won the battle and invented the game of golf at the same time. I was like, I completely forgot that was in there.
The Hobbit is a really fucking funny book, but they're making it...
which is why I'm hoping they'll keep that sort of stuff.
Oh, there'll still be a lot of it. I mean, the new trailer that came out last week, we're not going to be discussing that on the show because there's not that much to talk about it. But they showcase a lot of the humour from the movie, which is quite nice. Because I'd like the first one to be slightly funny and then get a little bit more serious as we go in, leading into the serious tone of Lord of the Rings. But anyway, going back to Evangeline Lilly, I mean, there's not much to say about the picture. It looks like Kate from Lost, but with pointy ears and red hair. That's really it.
True.
But yeah.
Sorry, I just saw it and I was like...
No, it's fine. No, just, yeah. I believe... I'm not entirely sure, but I believe they're making it Orlando Bloom's character, Legolas. I believe they're making it his sister.
His sister?
Yeah, I've got a feeling, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, because I think she hangs around with the Wood Elves, which is, yeah. Because if you know the books, the Wood Elves are, bastards, essentially, so, yeah. I think that all goes on there. So, yeah. But the main headline that I did have for this week is Marvel have been talking about the Hulk and any plans for further movies down the line with him. And one of the storylines that was kicked around, a possible use in the future, is Planet Hulk. Now, if anyone doesn't know that storyline, basically Marvel's Illuminati, which is it's Professor X, Iron Man, Reed Richards, and I want to say that guy from what's his face, the guy who doesn't talk. Oh fuck. What's his name? Oh shit. Well, him anyway. I forget his name now. But yeah, him from the Thingies. They basically decide the Hulk is too savage and too wild to remain on Earth. He's dangerous to humanity. So they want to stick him in a rocket ship and send him to a peaceful, idyllic planet where there's no life forms to get on his nerves. But unfortunately, plans go awry and he gets sucked through a wormhole and ends up on the planet Sakaar and has to fight in an arena of gladiatorial combat.
Huh.
Yes. Now, Marvel actually did an animated movie based on this a couple of years back. But instead of having Hulk fighting Silver Surfer like he does in the comics, he actually had to fight Beta Ray Bill in the movie. So,
alright.
And it's all about Hulk overthrowing the evil. It's basically Gladiator, but with Hulk. Is the way to look at it.
That seems to be how the past couple of movies we've talked about, comic book movies anyway, have been. Because it's like last week you were talking about the Green Arrow movie, and we're like, it's like Prison Break, but with DC villains. And then this week it's like
Gladiator, but with Hulk.
Gladiator with Hulk, yeah.
Well, it's a bit more in depth into it than that, but yeah, that's essentially it. But what happens is at the end of that, Hulk basically becomes king on this planet, and then he eventually comes back to Earth, and that's where you have World War Hulk, which is Hulk basically getting revenge on everyone for launching him off into space. And MTV asked Kevin Feige, about whether or not they would do Planet Hulk or World War Hulk as potential movies down the line, and he said that if they do it, then it's not going to be at least until after Avengers 2. So yeah. Obviously, but the great storylines. I'd love to see them done. I would absolutely love to see them done. So,
would be cool.
Yes, we shall see on that one though. Obviously, yes. So, who's next then? Right. Oh, we're going to stay with big movies now, and we're going to talk about the Justice League movie. Now, this is all just a rumour at the moment, not been confirmed. I just want to put that out there first of all. Okay, so a little disclaimer. But it seems that a DC research team went into a comic book store this week. Doesn't say where it was, but it says that...
I think it says the name was removed.
Ah, right, okay. An undisclosed comic shop, right. And it says that they went in kind of posing as fans originally, as comics fans, but then it became more and more obvious to the staff at this said comic shop that there was something a bit more than meets the eye going on there. It says they asked them a number of questions, such as, would fans accept a DC superhero movie without Christopher Nolan directing, and if he just served as producer, would that placate the fans? Obviously, just like the upcoming Superman reboot, he's working as a producer on that. Then they asked what fans thought of Aquaman. We all know my answer to that one. And what roster would fans want for a Justice League movie? Then they started taking the piss out of the Ant-Man film, only for the staff in the shop to say that they actually sounded pretty cool, and then they became worried when they said that. And then they were extremely interested in discussing obscure characters that were related to the Justice League. And then final question that was asked, which is the whole reason I brought this up, is what would fan reaction be like to a Justice League movie with Frank Miller's name attached?
Racist.
Why?
Because Frank Miller is a bigot.
Okay, but that aside, he's a really, really influential comic name in comics. I mean, Frank Miller, he wrote, as we just discussed there, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. He also wrote Batman Year One as well. Two of the greatest Batman stories ever.
Yeah, but he wrote those a while ago. True. All the stuff he seems to be writing now, he's gone kind of off the deep end. He's starting to stray into Alan Moore, I hate everything territory.
I had a story about Alan Moore. I don't know if you picked it up or not. I was going, no, okay, obviously not. I'll find it for you in a minute. Well, I think Frank Miller, I mean, obviously he wouldn't be writing the movie. He'd just be attached as, like, creative consultant or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see a Frank Miller Batman come to the screen. Oh, God.
Well, wouldn't that involve him screaming like, I'm the goddamn Batman! Enough of your rock and roll music! I
mean, take...
all that stuff.
I mean, he knows how to write Batman. He really knows how to write Batman.
It's like the sort of...
But Frank Miller, where, tell me I'm wrong in this, but Frank Miller created the Dark Knight ethos for Batman. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, no, he did.
There you go, then. But Frank Miller created the Batman that we know and love today. Bob Kane may have created him back in the 30s, may have created the character, but Frank Miller reinvented him as the character we love today.
Yeah, but then he kind of went a bit silly with it. I mean, have you ever seen I've talked about it before, the Spawn versus Batman stuff?
No.
Where because Frank Miller was co-writing it with Todd McFarlane, and then Frank Miller's like, any scenes where Batman could possibly get hurt, they don't show Batman getting hurt, but they show Spawn getting beaten utterly shitless.
Yeah, because Spawn's dead.
Frank Miller's like, Batman can't get hurt!
Toneh Mooore, is that you?
Yeah, that's when Frank Miller became
Toneh Mooore. No, I think Frank Miller being involved would be interesting. Obviously, I wouldn't want him writing the movie, but...
No, because he'd go, what's this Justice League movie about? They're going to go to Iraq and beat up terrorists! What?
Well, as I say, it's still only a rumour at the moment, so it's certainly something to keep an eye on, but we just don't know. Anyway, let's move on then and talk about... God damn it, it's another fucking reboot. We mentioned a little while ago about Universal wants to reboot The Mummy, and we were saying about if they were to do it as like a found footage movie or something like that. It's been announced this week that Len Wiseman is going to be directing it. So it ain't going to be a found footage movie, and we're just counting down the days now until Kate Beckinsale is cast as the female lead. God damn that was. I mean, he did the total fucking remake movie, which was god awful. I hated it. And you know, I mean, why did he keep giving this guy other people's things to do? He did Underworld, and that got his name on the map, really. And that was something new and indifferent at the time, and what have you. But that's been played out to death now. And instead of him going, okay, I'll give you something different and new and interesting to do, but they keep giving him reboots and remakes and sequels, and it's just like, let the guy, you know, grow. Let him do his own stuff instead of having to stick to an established formula.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's just...
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's also looks like it's going to be written by, well, at least produced by Alex Kurtzman and Roberta Walkie, who did they wrote the first Transformers movie. They also wrote Star Trek, so they can do good stuff.
I was just, I was just reading further in, and you were saying about they constantly give him reboots and stuff. Have you read one of the lines near the bottom where it's like, they're
also working on a reboot of Van Helsing with Tom Cruise attached.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fucking that.
Well, the first Van Helsing was a bit shit anyway.
But I still don't want Tom Cruise.
Well, no, that makes absolutely no sense. Besides, he's not allowed in Germany.
Okay.
Because he's a Scientologist, and the Germans are like, yeah, Scientology is a cult, and we don't allow cults in our country.
Okay, well, we won't talk about Scientology. We don't talk about Scientology on this show.
Well, it was more just because that's factually accurate.
Okay, well, that's fine, but we won't go for any further into
The only time we will ever refer to Scientology is if we're talking about how, while people were still learning to spell their name!
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Which that apparently had nothing to do with Scientology at all.
Oh, well, I don't believe that for 1 second. Let's move back to Frank Miller and talk about the sequel to Sin City. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Rosario Dawson has said that they start to shoot that movie in November. Which is going to be interesting, seeing as two of the cast are now dead.
What?
Yeah, Michael Clarke Duncan, who played Minute, he's dead. And Brittany Murphy, she's dead.
Is she?
Yeah. She died, didn't she? She had like fucking her house had mouldy shit in it and killed her.
Oh, who did she play?
She was the barmaid.
Oh.
Yeah. Whose name I forget now, but yeah. But yeah, so they've got to get this movie done soon, otherwise there'll be no fucking cast left.
Oh.
Yeah, but Dame to Kill For is supposedly going to be 2 stories based out of the books and 1 new original story written by Frank Miller for the movie. And looks like the main thrust of the movie is going to concern the Dwight character played by Clive Owen in the first movie. It's a prequel to that story in that first movie, in as much as how about he ended up getting his new face and what have you, and who he was before. So there you go. Next one is I wanted to talk about is we had our first pictures through this week of Jim Carrey as Colonel Stars in the upcoming Kick-Ass 2 movie. Now, I want to know what you think of these pictures here, sir. I'll put them on the Facebook page, obviously. And I'll also put the picture up that we talked about just before of Evangeline Lilly as well. That'll go on the Facebook. Yes, what I mean, take a look at Jim. What do you think?
What the fuck? Looks kind of bizarre.
Doesn't look like him at all, does it? I don't know what they've done, like prosthetics or something. I mean,
who's the chick?
That. Well, I was just about to get onto that. That is Lindy Booth, who is playing Night Bitch in the movie. You would recognise her from... do you remember we watched the Dawn of the Dead reboot?
Yeah.
That is the girl with the dog.
Oh.
That's who that is.
She obviously survived the zombies.
Indeed, and got extremely hot. Yes. But I don't know what they've done to Jim, but there's certainly some form of prosthetics going on.
I was going to say they put prosthetics on him.
I know they've given I mean, those teeth aren't his. but he does look a hell of a lot like he does in the book.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about this movie. I think it certainly does look. It really does look like they've just stepped off the page in certain bits. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
didn't look too bad.
I think they've done something to his nose, actually. Let's just...
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they've done something to his nose. Well, we shall see. But, yeah, certainly, definitely going to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, they've lumped out the top of his nose.
Yeah. I think they've done something to his brow as well. Yeah.
No.
Anyways, so we'll still be keeping an eye on this movie as it comes through, but I'm really, really excited for this. This really does look like it's coming together quite nicely.
Yeah, it doesn't look half bad.
So,
nope, it looks all bad.
Well, on that bombshell, we're going to move straight in then to Andy's section and talk about comics.
Squirm in fear. It's time to talk comics.
Yes, we are. And firstly, I've got a follow-up from last week.
Right.
Which is, I said about, what's her name? Molly Crabapple getting arrested.
Yes.
As a part of the Occupy Wall Street anniversary protest thing. It's got a follow-up. She put some more tweets up saying, to quote her tweets, it's like, God, jail is boring. The women's section was totally threatened with a night in the Tombs for singing Solidarity Forever. Online to get my things on the way out, I was in between a reporter for the Boston Phoenix and an elderly couple, one of whom was a priest.
Right.
So, they were in the prison as well. They got arrested for being on the Occupy Wall Street thing, an elderly couple. And then she talked about how it went down. She said she's standing on the sidewalk. Officers started grabbing the arms of women, pulling them into the street. First they wanted us to cross and they were being forceful. And she asked if she was free to go and her hands were cuffed behind her back.
Right.
So, yeah. And then her live tweeting her arrest made it onto Al Jazeera.
Right.
Yeah. Probably because they're like, this is why we don't like Americans or something. I don't know. I just like looking at the video. You can go on bleedingcool.com and search the article. It's got a video showing it, but the clip I've got, just where it's the video's paused before you start playing it. It's just this massive picture that says Muslim Rage. Very appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just thought I'd follow that up. So,
Okay.
they'll let her out, but it's still fucking stupid that she got put in prison in the first place.
Yeah.
Secondly, to bring up something we've talked about, which is Robert Kirkman and Toneh Mooore. The Comic Book Resources got sent a joint statement from both of them by a representative for Kirkman. Robert, it says, do you want me to do it as the voice of the Insider
Go
again,
on,
or
yeah.
should we do a different voice, or what?
No, fitting Insider, go for it.
It's a statement that's been sent out.
Oh, right, okay.
It's not the Insider technically.
Okay, you need to. We need studio representative voice.
Okay. Robert Kirkman. No. What was the voice I was trying to sell you cloud insurance with?
I don't.
Would you like to buy cloud insurance? Yes, that was it.
Yes.
Robert Kirkman and Toneh Mooore are pleased to jointly announce that they have reached an amicable agreement in their respective lawsuits.
and all parties have settled the entire matter to everyone's mutual satisfaction. Neither side will be discussing any details, but will instead happily and productively spend their time focused on their own work and move on in their lives. The statement comes 7 months from the original suit by Mooore in February, where he was like talking about him getting all that money, which everyone knows about. But yeah, it's obviously all blown over now. Following Comic-Con International, Moore came back in audience where he asked federal court to declare him co-author of Walking Dead and several other comic book properties, which included Battle Pope, Brit, and 2 potential comic book series, Dead Planet and My Name is Abraham. So, yeah, that's that. So, that means that's settled. But I've got another
we can all sleep
story.
easy in our beds now, then.
Yep.
Know the
I've got
Toneh Mooore.
another story involving Toneh Mooore. Now, this one is an old one. I only found out about this because of the Superfly podcast, and I was like, how did I even miss this?
Right.
Now, you know how Marvel now have been putting out the adverts, like teasing lineups for new titles,
right, yeah.
where it has one word.
Yeah.
So, like, it says Invincible, and then it'll have the lineup, or like one on the side here, it just says Killers.
Yeah. And you'll have one that say Twat, and it's got Rob Liefeld written underneath it.
No. Basically, Moore's name is... Yeah, Moore's name is over one that just says Chimichangas.
Okay.
So, Toneh Mooore is going to be drawing a Deadpool series.
Yay!
Which is going to be written by...
Rob Liefeld.
No, Jerry Duggan and Brian Posehn.
Ooh.
Brian Posehn being a comedian and not a comic writer.
Brian Posehn,
So.
if you don't know who he is, if you've ever seen Devil's Rejects, he's the big, tall, beady dude who gets shot in the motel. That's Brian Posehn.
He's also in, if any of you are fans of MC Frontalot, his video for which song was it? One of the songs off of his newest album, the one where they're all playing D&D. He's the dungeon master in that video.
Right.
I shall look that up. And he also has his
got
own...
an interesting linking fact, actually, between Brian Posehn and Toneh Mooore. Is during season 2 of The Walking Dead, AMC did The Talking Dead, the after show on that, and Brian.
Critical Hit. That's the.
Sorry.
Critical Hit was the MC Frontalot song I was thinking of. Sorry.
Well, Brian Posehn was on The Talking Dead as a guest. Funny enough, talking about The Walking Dead, which is links us back to Toneh Mooore.
Indeed, it does. But yeah, he's done like a parody metal album, and he's thinking of doing a full parody metal album with Scott Ian from Anthrax,
As you do.
who, funnily enough, also links back to The Walking Dead because he appeared as a zombie in it. So everything links back to Toneh Mooore. But yeah, he released. Brian Posehn has released a song before called "More Metal Than You," so I'll just put a clip in here.
You say that I'm not metal? You don't fucking know me. I'm Slayer, Venom, Mayhem, you're like Lion, Blow, and Jovi. Metal is a competition. Game over, you're through. You thought that you were metal. I'm more metal than you. I burn a church, ignore what I'm more metal than you. I can name 4 guys in Crocus. I'm more metal than you. Gene Simmons was my boy. I'm more metal than you. I give out for the hair.
Play that to your nan. Sure she'll love it.
Indeed.
Well, I found that Alan Moore story for you, so I'll send that over to you now, and you can discuss that with the world.
Ooh. Let's have a look. Let's see. But yeah, what do you reckon to a new Deadpool series?
I love Deadpool. I think he's great. So a new series can... I mean, the fact that they've got a comedian on to write it as well, I think is good. Because obviously Deadpool is the comedian of the Marvel Universe, essentially.
Yeah, true. And apparently Brian Posehn is just like a massive fan of Deadpool.
Well, he's
anyway.
a huge geek, so, you know, to have him on board is fine by me.
It does make sense. So let's see. Alan Moore criticised Stan Lee, and he says something, calls Rob Liefeld ridiculous. Okay.
You'd like this story.
And Will Eisner, he says something about as well.
Doesn't take the piss.
Let's see. He was scathing about Lee, who he accused of falsely claiming responsibility for the creation of Captain America during his panel, which was recorded by Tom Huxley for Bleeding
This was
Cool.
a panel at the Northants International Comics Expo. Oh, nice, this is known.
He said that Lee's role in his famous collaborations with Jack Kirby was to fancy up his partner's dialogue. There was a reason why jolly Jack Kirby wasn't always jolly, why sturdy Steve Ditko wasn't always sturdy, and why smiling Stan Lee was always smiling, he said. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have done that in an Alan Moore voice. There is a reason why jolly Jack Kirby wasn't always jolly. Why sturdy Steve Ditko wasn't always sturdy, and why smiling Stan Lee was always smiling. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
Moore discussed his work. Moore discussed his work at Awesome Comics for that ridiculous individual, Liefeld, saying that he enjoyed his time there. What? He also talked about how he was inspired by Will Eisner, calling him genuinely a master of comic storytelling. So, yeah. And there's a video on here with Alan Moore talking about Stan Lee.
Alan Moore, you crazy bastard.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you ever... Ooh, he's got a new H.P. Lovecraft comic. I don't know how old this will be.
Eh?
Ooh, this is actually quite recently. He's doing a new H.P. Lovecraft-inspired comic called Providence.
Okay.
It'll star legendary horror writer Lovecraft himself.
Alright, okay.
Now that should be cool.
Well, I've read
the last
books
one he did.
I've read books when Lovecraft's been the main character before now, as it is anyway.
What? Set in New England in 1919, the book will explore events that turned Lovecraft into the master of cosmic horror fiction. So it could be linked to his previous Avatar series, Neonomicon, as well.
Okay.
Because that was heavily revolved around H.P. Lovecraft themes. And it talks about how Lovecraft got... Everyone thinks that Lovecraft came up with this stuff, and maybe Lovecraft just got all these ideas because of these cults that he'd found that worshipped actual elder gods and stuff. It's like, the thing that I went what at was because apparently this Providence will also star a secretly gay and Jewish policeman in an exploration of Lovecraft's sympathies with Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Alan Moore, you crazy, crazy bastard.
Yeah, that is kind of mental.
Well, what more can you say about it? You can't. So, in that case then, we'll fly on through and head to this week's Doctor Who section.
Hide behind the sofa as we discuss Doctor Who.
Okay, first story this week is about Peter Jackson. Funny enough, we mentioned the Hobbit and what have you earlier. As Peter Jackson has revealed that he'd love to direct an episode of Doctor Who. He was he was having an interview with the Waikato Times, which I believe is the New Zealand newspaper. He says, "Oh God, how'd you do a Peter Jackson voice?"
What's he sound like?
He's from New Zealand, so it's like Australian, but no.
Good day.
That's just sort of a change, right? No, he's not Australian though, so it's weird. It's like Witter, you know. He kind of talks like that, but that's a bit more South African, so that's not right. It's kind of South African mixed with Australian, so it's a bit like this, but not. I'll just go with this right now. So it's I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and I think Matt Smith's fantastic. Just name a time and a place, and I'll be there, mate. Throw shrimp on the barbie. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I used to be able to do quite good Peter Jackson, but because I haven't heard him talk for a while, so I've forgotten how you do it.
Well, we'll just go with this then. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan.
No, that's future Andy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, fuck it. We'll just go for full-blown Australian. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and I think Matt Smith's fantastic, mate. Just name a time and a place, and I'll be there. With a few tinnies and a Barbie, and fucking kangaroos, and get down, banter.
The one thing I always remember about Lord of the Rings is watching the making of stuff, and just Viggo Mortensen talking about the guy who was the short double for Frodo. Just because I always just remember just Viggo Mortensen saying that he cooked this fish up for this guy, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's all right," and then he's like, "Why? What would you have done?" And the guy just goes, "I would have made fish curry."
Yeah, it was little Indian dude, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he always made curries and stuff.
Yeah,
apparently, that's the bit I always remember, and just the story about how the guys Dominic Monaghan and what was the name of the dude who played Pippin? Yeah, how they came up with. They were talking about the Lembas bread advert.
Oh yeah.
Because that was what they referred to, that shot of Legolas where he just turns to the camera basically and goes, "Lembas bread."
Them's good eating.
Like Lembas biscuits, but bigger.
Well, on a related note, I've got a story now from Carolyn Skinner, the exec producer of Doctor Who at the moment, and she said this week that she'd love to work with Peter Jackson. After he revealed that he'd love to do an episode of the show, she was informed of this, and she says, "I think it's beyond wonderful that Peter is a fan of the show, and it's beyond flattering that he'd even think about it. I'm absolutely sure that we couldn't afford him, but, we can always negotiate. His enthusiasm is fantastic, of course."
What was that
That's
voice?
Carolyn Skinner, exec producer of Doctor Who.
It kind of sounds like a corruption of I'm Clarice Starling.
Well, she's technically Welsh, but I couldn't be asked doing a Welsh accent. Now, I know that Peter Jackson is a huge Doctor Who fan. He actually owns Sylvester McCoy's on-screen used costume. Sylvester McCoy being his favourite Doctor, actually. Which is why he cast Sylvester in The Hobbit. That's the whole reason he got him in, is because he loves him. Oh. Sylvester McCoy will be playing Radagast the Brown in the new Hobbit. You can actually see him in the trailer. He's got a few lines in the new trailer.
Cool.
Yes, so
I'm going to watch that after we've finished recording it.
Yeah. So yeah, I knew Peter Jackson's a big Doctor Who fan. So if they could get him in, I mean, it's not going to be until after the 50th anniversary because obviously the budget is allocated now. So you're looking at 2014 at the very, very earliest. But if he could squeeze one in, I think that'd be incredible.
That would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh, man, because I know Weta are actually involved with Doctor Who as it is right now. Anyway, they do replica props and what have you. Weta actually designed the Paul McGann's Doctor on audio. He's just had a costume change, and he's got a new steampunk-inspired sonic screwdriver. And it was actually Weta that did the design for the new sonic screwdriver. Yes.
Ooh, that sounds pretty awesome.
So there you go.
Wait, which Doctor is he playing?
Paul McGann is the 8th Doctor.
Oh yeah, of course. Because he's the one who only on TV.
Only had one go, yeah. Really nice chap, actually. I got to meet him earlier this year.
Because he had the costume change, and everyone was like, "Well, why are you going around saying that's your new costume?" Because he just turned around going, "Oh yeah, this is totally my new costume," and BBC were like, "Don't know what he's talking about," but recently they announced that is actually his new costume.
Right, yeah. Which was, we've talked about this before, but I thought it was awfully convenient that they've said, yeah, okay, he's got this new costume out of nowhere just before the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Say no more than that. But, so...
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, know
yes,
what I mean?
Indeed. Right, so, and our other piece of Doctor Who news is we've got the overnight figures in for The Power of Three, the most recent episode that aired on Saturday just gone. The overnight figures for that was 5.5 million. So that'll go up to about 7.5 once all the time shift and what have you is taken into account. Which, it's not been too bad. It's I really enjoyed the episode. I'll go into it in more depth shortly, because now it's time to talk about it, the episode itself, with the man himself, Mr. Paul Griggs. Thanks, me. Once again, here I am, joined by our resident Doctor Who expert.
That's me. Hey, he's talking about me, world.
Do you want to say your name? You always forget to say your bloody name.
Oh, well, you know, they should know who I am by now, the regular listeners. Hello, it's Paul Griggs. And truly, this Doctor Who part of the podcast is the Power of Three, because reference to last week's, something you were talking about on last week's podcast, I am a 3.
You're what?
I am a Kevin Bacon number 3.
Oh.
Because you were talking about the Oracle of Bacon being on Google now.
That's right, yes.
Yes. I was in one of the Bill Baggs videos, Cyberon, with an aged actor who has now passed on by the name of Oliver Bradshaw, who was in V for Vendetta with John Hurt. And John Hurt was in something with Kevin Bacon. So there you go. I am a KB3.
Fair enough. We like people to let us know their Kevin Bacon numbers, I guess. So
not only am I third nerd, and this is the Power of Three podcast, but I am a KB3 as well. Threes are everywhere.
Well, not in this part of the show, because Andy's not with us.
Ah.
So.
Well, he's listening to us either side of this clip, though.
Yes, he's here in spirit.
Yes, or spirits.
Yeah, well, we were drinking this week. So. But The Power of Three is the Doctor Who episode which we're going to be talking about this week. Is all about Amy and Rory's life on Earth versus their life with the Doctor. Which one, will win out?
Yeah, I really did like this one because it very very simple concept. Life with the Doctor, but from Amy and Rory's perspective. Mm-hmm. So Amy and Rory telling the story. Well, Amy telling the story, and we're seeing things from their side. And it's a great character piece because everybody gets to do some. It's not all wham bam and action. There's plenty of time for character pieces and little bits in the background and side things. It gives everybody a moment to shine, and it gives Matt something else to do because, quite frankly, I'm not surprised that the Doctor can't sit still.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean there. For me, this week it was. The last few episodes have been action. This was our week to slow it down, to get some nice character stuff with the Ponds, so that the audience can feel closer and closer and closer to them, and then bang, next week they're gone.
They're gone. You bastard, Moffat.
Well, it's change is good for Doctor Who.
Change is good. Yeah, no, That's always made me laugh when you listen to Doctor Who fans going, no, we hate change. We don't want things to change. Come back, David Tennant. But the whole point of Doctor Who, it's all about change. It always has been, and
Exactly.
it goes anywhere. It does anything. That's what I've always loved about the show. So, yes, bizarre people out there.
That's the great thing about it, is it literally can go anywhere.
And it, more often than not, does. Let's face it, where have we been? A Dalek asylum. We've had dinosaurs on a spaceship. We've been to the Wild West. And then we've been to, suburbia, basically. And next week we go to New York, New York.
Indeed, we do. Well, we'll get to that shortly.
They named it twice.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned the Wild West and then suburbia. Technically, it's the other way around, isn't it?
Well, see, yes, good reference there, because for those of you who didn't notice, a town called
Mercy.
Mercy actually took place during the party in The Power of Three.
Yes, at the beginning of Town Called Mercy, the Doctor mentions Rory leaving his phone charger in Henry VIII's in his bedroom, and this week we got to see Henry VIII's bedroom where Doctor, Amy, and Rory are all hiding under the bed. Rory's got his phone charger with him, and he drops it on the floor.
Yes, and everybody's head just went boom.
Well, non-linear storytelling.
It's great fun.
It's been a staple of the Moffat era.
Timey-wimey story-worry.
Story Rory? What?
Story Worry. There was a word there.
Okay, yeah, it's Uncle Terry. Jesus.
Jonathan Wass.
Well, I was going to say, I forgot what I was going to... Oh, yes, that's what I was going to do. I was going to talk about another character who, I won't say a new character, but a character introduced to the main series. We had Kate Stewart.
Stewart.
Indeed.
Or Kate Lethbridge Stewart. Now, for those of you out there who aren't familiar with this character, she is not created for Doctor Who. This is a character that first actually appeared in a Doctorless spin-off video back in the 90s called Downtime. It was the Brigadier and Sarah Jane and Victoria Waterfield and Yetis and the University of East Anglia. Well, because the University of East Anglia standing in for it. It was written by Mark Platt, who wrote Ghostlight for the classic series. And it's not a brilliant adventure, but it's good fun. And Kate Lethbridge Stewart, the Brigadier's daughter, was in it with her son, and in fact the characters crept into there's a reference to her in one of the past the Missing Adventure novels, because she's supposed to be the Brigadier, the Brigadier's daughter from his first marriage, and then she showed up again in a sequel to Downtime, not too many years ago, called Demos Rising, which was produced by the guys at Telos Publishing. Hi to Dave Howe and Sam Stone, who live round the corner in North Wales these days. They Dave produced and I think he wrote actually Demos Rising. So they
2004.
Yeah, there we go. Just before the series came back, it was. If I remember rightly, it's the first unofficial Doctor Who spin-off that ended that went straight to DVD. We'll forget about Zygon. No, we're not going to go there. So she's a character that has been in existence already, and I'm pretty sure it's the first time that a character invented for an unofficial Who spin-off has then made its way back into the series. Admittedly recast, but sorry, Beverly, you're not actually going to be in the real series. But Gemma Redgrave.
Gemma Redgrave.
Yes, doing a smashing job, and the legacy goes on.
Indeed. I mean, do you think really? See, for me, the inclusion of Kate Stewart is basically the BBC kind of saw their arse by not getting Nick Courtney in to play the Brigadier actually on the main show one last time. We had him in Sarah Jane, but I think this is them saying, "Oh shit, we really should have had the Brig in. What's the closest thing we can do?" Yeah, because we've had unit characters in before. Most notably, Martha was a member of Unit.
Oh, but, yeah, all the references to the Brig being in Peru and this, that, and the other. And yeah, they definitely missed a trick by not having the Doctor and the Brigadier meeting on screen one last time. It's so very sad that we lost Nick, and there's so many people that
it was a bad year last year.
Seem to be going, and this year, and just crossing our fingers for other people that we've been hearing about. It was really quite sad. At least we did get him on screen in the Sarah Jane Adventures. If it had to be one show that one for the kids was great. Quite frankly, the Brig is like he at the end he was like the dotty old granddad, and he fit in perfectly with the kids and with Sarah Jane. So it was marvellous to see them together again. But
yeah, I mean that whole era was been mentioned quite a lot and referenced quite a lot in the Sarah Jane Adventures. I think it's one of the very first episodes. Sarah's on the phone and she says, "Love to Harry," I think she says.
Yes.
At one point, yeah.
I mean, there's one of those old photos of the Brigadier, sort of circa the Three Doctors thereabouts, in the background in the attic, and they aren't short of Unit era references in there. But please, for God's sake, can we not talk about Unit dating? And I'm not talking about Joe Grant going out with Mike Yates. Okay? No, I was on Twitter yesterday. And I think it was Gary Gillett, former editor of Doctor Who magazine, who ventured forth and said, can we work out how old Kate Lethbridge Stewart is, so that we, based on like when the episode takes place, and it's like boom, suddenly all these people are going in. So there's Gary Gillett and Gary Russell and Tom Spilsbury and Ed Russell, marketing guy at BBC Wales, and it's like the worst Unit dating conversation about 70s Who continuity, but for the 20th century, it will break your head trying to think about it.
Well, it's even harder now because there's been 10 years. It was established there was 10 years between this episode and the 11th hour.
No, right. It may have been 10 years for Amy and Rory. That doesn't mean it's chronologically 10 years. It doesn't mean it's 10 years subjective time. Right. Remember, during the party, they had 7 weeks.
That's very true.
Okay, so it's 10 years for Amy and Rory. That's why she was saying that they had to work it out.
Right.
So, it's confusing. They haven't had it all in at the same speed as everybody else. But,
never let it be said that the show isn't confusing.
Yeah. Well, Doctor Who or this podcast?
A bit of both.
Both, yeah. But suffice to say, I mean, there's arguments over exactly when this, the year of the slow invasion was. Certainly, it's no earlier than 2013, and it's probably getting on to 2014 based on the evidence.
Well, we had music. We had that Bulletproof song. Whoever sings that, Bulletproof, that one. That was on there, so it could only be no. It's got to have been at least this year, if not later.
It's going to be later than this year, though.
Yeah,
because we've got certain dates that are definitely locked in, like Silencio and that, and then the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. They established that it was like it's been 2 years since they saw them in 2011, so that does bring us up to 2013, right. And then you've got all these other bits where for example in Pond Life they've gone through various. Pond Life is pretty much 6 months,
Yes, that's very true.
So yeah, there's we're potentially up as late as 2015 or 2016 by the time you get to the end of the Power 3. So it's and yeah, my brain just froze. I have blue screen of death brain. I will now reboot.
Okay, well, speaking of timings and dates and what have you, yet again another Christmas reference this week. Rory was working at Christmas.
Yes, well, if you get one next week, then you might have something there.
Come on, 4 weeks in a row. That's not a coincidence.
Yeah, well, yeah. Christmas comes early every time you have a new episode of Doctor Who anyway, so...
Very true.
What does it matter? What does it matter?
Wow. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. Oh yes, I wanted to go back to the character of Brian.
Yeah,
Brian Pond, played by Mark Williams, came back this week.
Yes.
For me, he stole this episode.
He got the final word, didn't he?
He did.
Basically, he said, go. Yeah. He could have very much gone in the direction like with Rose's mum. It's all sort of, you look after her, it's far too dangerous to travel with that man and this, that and the other. But no, he was, he took it all in and then he basically said, yeah, you should bloody go.
Well, I think that was...
We'll get the opportunity to do this. Bloody hell, go.
Yeah, I think that was the whole point, is to do a juxtaposition to that, because, he may very well be sending them off to their doom by saying that. We don't know, because we don't know the end of it. We don't know how Amy and Rory are going to go out. Are they going to live happily ever after? Is it going to be a sad ending? We just don't know.
Or could it be a sad ending where they live happily ever after?
Well, that's one theory I've seen kicking around anyway. I won't go into that, obviously, for fear of spoilers.
No, no, we'll be talking about that next week.
Of course, next week is going to be quite a bumper-packed Doctor Who edition, I feel.
I think it's more than likely, yes.
Yes. It's next week is, as you said earlier, it's the Angels take Manhattan.
Yay!
Well, some of the stuff we've seen in the teaser trailer for that, like the angel baby, the little cherub.
Yes, my youngest Joshua, he's absolutely scared of the Weeping Angels, but he's going. He really likes the baby angels. He thinks they're cute.
I remember you telling me about when he went to see Doctor Who live.
No, oh gosh, yes, yeah. He just, he would not blink when they were on. And he basically believes to this day that he stared them down and scared them off himself. Actually, I should tell you my Weeping Angel thing. 1 year, me and the family, we did a day trip to Cardiff, and we did Roald Dahl Place and stood on that paving slab by the tower. I swear it is having a groove worn into it by people doing exactly that shot. But we went to the Doctor Who exhibition for Cardiff, which was just round the corner there at the time. And the way they had their Weeping Angel presented was brilliant, because they had it off the floor above head height on a sort of plinth or shelf or balcony or whatever you want to look at it. So you look up at it and go, oh look, Weeping Angel, and then you look away and have a look around at some of the other stuff, and then you just happen to glance up and fuck me, it's moved. And basically, they had it on a turntable, a very slow turntable. But basically, the speed you would normally look at it, you don't know. You look up, look away, look back. My God, it's me. That shit me up. It really did.
Well, I'll just make the quick distinction there. That was the Doctor Who exhibition as opposed to the Doctor Who experience.
Yes, it was one of the exhibitions.
Yes,
that's now shut down.
We had a bunch of them around the UK. We had one not far from from just about where we live in Seaforth.
Yes, well, we had the Doctor Who exhibition at Spaceport twice. We had two, and luckily,
both times.
Because I run the Merseyside local group, they kind of roped us in for the publicity and that. So not bragging or anything, but I don't think I ever actually had to pay to get into that one. Yes.
Well, that brings me round to something I was going to ask you then. Is you took a trip down to to Spaceport this weekend just gone?
Yes, that one I won a competition on Twitter. They do these special weekends. Just to give them a bit of background, Spaceport at Seacombe on the Wirral, so it's the wrong side of the Mersey.
Yeah.
As some would call it.
Yes.
It's basically a space museum. The planets and the solar system and space travel and that sort of thing. The idea being that you when you start you go into a sort of pod, and it's a vibrating room. So and it's like you're traveling through space to get to the spaceport. And it's been open quite a few years now. It was open something like 2005, 2006.
The second exhibition was 2008, so it's got to have been.
It's going to be the original Spaceport.
2005, 2006.
Before they had Doctor Who. There.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's got to be 2005, 2006. Yeah.
Yeah. But they now have themed weekends occasionally. I mean, they did a time travel weekend a few weekends back, a couple of months back. Excuse me. Where they had a TARDIS and they had people dressed up in Doctor Who costumes and this, that, and the other, and they had a DeLorean there. I'm very disappointed to have missed that because I've seen plenty of TARDISes, but I've never been near a DeLorean.
I have.
And then this weekend they did a comic strip weekend. They had a couple of comic strip artists, Anthony Williams and Andy Lanning, who have done lots and lots of different things. That it turns out I have actually read. They're not immediately recognisable names, but I actually remember reading some of their old the real Ghostbusters strips that they worked.
Hell, that means I would have read them as well then.
And they've worked in 2000 AD, and they've done stuff for Marvel and DC. But I on Twitter there was a competition, and basically I won the draw. So me and the kids went, and just the kids especially buzzed off of meeting all these superheroes, because they had just loads of people dressed up in superhero outfits. We had a Michael Keaton Batman, a Christian Bale Batman, a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, a Spider-Man, a Flash, Black Cat. I liked her. We had a Wonder Woman. She liked me. We had the Penguin. We had we rather randomly had a few Star Wars people wandering around as well, and we also had Kick-Ass and Hit Girl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The guy doing Kick-Ass was brilliant. He really knew what he was doing, because when he got me to pose, he basically got me to pose as if he was kicking shit out of me. It's a great photo, but the kids especially. I mean, my youngest, he's got quite a few superhero costumes and that, so he chose to go as Batman. So him and the other Batmen were brilliant, and I got a great photo of him. Properly Biff sock powing the Penguin, and the artists were signing, and they were doing sketches for people. Apparently, they did about 30 pieces of artwork during the day, and I won a piece of artwork that they'd done it exclusively. It's now on my wall by the stairs.
I'll take a look next time I'm over.
It's a really nice Spider-Man piece with a sort of rogues gallery of Venom and Carnage and Green Goblin and Hobgoblin and what have you. And at Spaceport they also have a planetarium And what they did do this time is they had a talk on the science of superheroes. So where could you find things in science and nature that would make somebody like maybe Wolverine possible, or maybe more obviously Iron Man, and so on and so forth. So it's not just about the fun stuff. They do talk about the serious sciencey aspects of stuff as well. But if you're ever on Merseyside, absolutely recommend Spaceport. They're on the Twitter and they're on the old World Wide Web as well. So well worth checking it out.
Definitely. I was gutted to have missed that. I would have loved to have gone to that as well.
Yeah, well, you couldn't make it, unfortunately.
No.
Knackered.
Yeah, the car's a bit knackered at the minute, but I'll be back on the road soon. Well, I'll go back to Doctor Who then, just to sum up then. One thing I did notice, a lot of people said that this episode was quite slow, quite dull, and I really don't agree with that at all. I thought it was fantastic.
I don't think it's dull. I don't think slow that necessarily means dull. I think it has a different pace to it, and a character piece will be less pacey than Asylum of the Daleks, which is wham bam wall to wall exterminating Daleks.
I did think the ultimate villain was a bit cack, to be honest with you.
I'd be very surprised if we don't see him again.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I mean, let's face it, who was playing it?
I'm just going to find out for you now, because I know the name, but I can't.
I know who it is, I've just forgotten his bloody name.
What's his friggin' name?
Yeah, I know.
It is Stephen Burkoff.
There we go. The most fantastic thespian going, Stephen Burkoff, is a Doctor Who villain. That is one that can run and run. We'll see him again, I'm sure. Maybe,
but I mean, for me, it was like I like the idea of the cubes being essentially rat poison.
Well, funnily enough, I mean, I mentioned this on Twitter. The whole plot reminded me very much of a novel I read when I was a kid. And indeed, I'm not the only person who made this connection. I go on Twitter going, am I the only person who thinks this is a bit like Trillions by Nicholas Fisk? Oh, I see Stephen Baxter does. Yeah, there we go. I'm in good company if Stephen Baxter's noticed the same thing I had. But yeah, I mean, Nicholas Fisk, I remember him, his science fiction novels when I was a kid, especially like the Starstormers books. Trillions was about all these, crystals suddenly showing up en masse, showering down, and they would start connecting together and making shapes and this, that, and the other, and it did remind me of that, because it was over a long time, and everybody having to sort of work together ultimately, and things like that. So it's an interesting concept. There we go. I recommend that if you haven't found it. Nicholas Fisk. I looked him up on the World Wide Web. He's very, very old, but he's not dead yet.
Well, that's one hell of a way to describe someone.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's a science fiction writer I have a lot of time for, because I did read quite a few of his novels in my formative years. He definitely fed the addiction of a young sci-fi fan.
Well, again, it was a Chris Chibnall episode. Again, another one that's kind of divided fan opinion, but we certainly liked it.
Those that hate Chris Chibnall and the rest of us who can actually accept it on the basis of, actually, it's a good episode, and it doesn't matter whether it was written by a particular person or not.
Exactly.
I finally deleted somebody off my Facebook and blocked them on Twitter because this person just doesn't seem to be able to get over their Chibnall hate. So fuck that, I'm off.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, on that bombshell, I'd like to thank Paul for coming back to speak to us once again, and I'm sure we'll have him on next week.
I don't doubt it for 1 second.
Okay, well, do you want to let people know how they can get in touch with you, how they can find you and pick your brain for Doctor Who-ness?
If you want to pick my brain for Doctor Who-ness, you can find us on the Twitter at AutonScouser. Check us out, the Merseyside local group, www.mogonline.co.uk, and what else? You know, if you do a search on YouTube for Cyberon, you'll probably find some clips of me in that as well.
Well, there we go. It's his finest hour, ladies and gentlemen.
My finest hour is, do you have a license to save this planet? But that's a story for another time. Well, thanks, Paul, for coming on once again. And in that case, I'm going to hand over back to myself and Andy, and it's time to do some TV news.
Tremble at the might of the TV section.
Okay, right. We've only got the one news story in TV this week. It's the Coen brothers have closed a deal with the FX network to adapt the movie Fargo for television as a TV series. The Coen brothers are both going to be on board as executive producers, along with producer and Bones producer and story editor Noah Hawley. He's going to be writing the pilot and exec produce along with the Coens. So that'll be interesting. I don't quite understand how it could work, but it's not the first time they've tried to do this for TV. It says there was an attempted pilot in 2003, but that didn't actually have the Coens' participation. But yeah.
It'll probably work if it's actually got the participation of the guys who made the movie in the first place.
See, I think the movie is great. I don't see why you need to stretch it out into a TV series. Plus,
and again, it's
you're not going to have Bill Macy. You're not going to have Steve Buscemi. You know, you're not going to have Fran McDormand. So, I don't know.
And how would... I don't know how they'd... Because Coen Brothers movies are usually really, insane. Like, half of them have got really weird... It's like me and Daniel were watching... what was it called? Burn something.
Oh, Burn After Reading. That's
a
great film.
We're watching that, and Daniel's going, keep an eye on what George Clooney's building. And it keeps doing the shadowy thing where he's going down into the cellar and building stuff. It's like, I'm going, oh, is it this? Is it that? Is it this? It's like thinking of different, is it like a go-kart or is it like some sort of weird spy thing? And he's like, no, just keep watching. And then it gets to the climax and he's like, let me show you what I built.
Fire the spoiler cannon!
A dildo chair! It's like, what?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Fire the spoiler cannon.
Oh, did you like that spoiler cannon sound?
I did, yeah. I think it was actually DeMonica who started our spoiler cannon, wasn't it?
Yeah, because she accidentally set one off, but then
Japan.
I was like, well, I'm not sure where that actually was, so I just recorded me going, fire the spoiler cannon, and then just included after it. No, man, it was, I enjoyed that. But with regard to this TV series, I really don't see how you can top the movie. I mean, the film won Oscars. It won. Fran McDormand won Best Actress for it, and the Coens won Best Original Screenplay. So you shouldn't touch it. Shouldn't touch it. Just leave it alone. Indeed.
I'll give it a watch, but I don't think you should. Don't think you should do it.
No.
Right. Well, let's cheer ourselves up by going out with some Any Other Business.
Any other business?
Okay, right, our first bit of Any Other Business is going back to something that we covered quite some time ago on the show. I don't know if you remember, mate, we talked about the expedition that was heading off into Siberia to go and look for the Yeti, the abominable snowman.
Yetis.
Yetis. Well, it's
I've seen the Yeti once.
oh yes. And what
It
did he look
turned out it was a rather hairy homeless man looking for peas.
for? Peas.
Peas.
Why was he looking for peas?
I'm not entirely sure.
Looking for the peas, looking for the peas, looking for the peas. There's a man looking at me. Scarpers in the woods.
Why does he sound like an ape?
Why not? Well,
He
thought
happened to
the
be talking through a laptop.
Hello, Hawkins. It's me, Professor Yetterstein.
I'm hunting peas, but first here's strippers and a meat raffle.
Why is that Yeti wearing a trilby? Well, anyway.
All of a sudden, I've just got this mental image of, like, these guys hunting for it's like, and now we're hunting for the mysterious Yeti. What's that sound? And you can hear, like, footsteps or something, and then you get to a clearing, like, I think we may have spotted a Yeti. And then all of a sudden, it just dances past with this trilby on its head going, hello, my baby! Like,
and here we are in the Alaskan wilderness, and if you look just over there, about 300 yards in front of us, you can see the elusive dancing Yeti. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime girl. Fucking Attenborough's there and shit.
yeah.
This is the mating ritual of the Siberian Sasquatch, also known as the Yeti. And as you see, he approaches the female with some strippers and a meat raffle.
That would be the best documentary ever.
Coming soon from 50 Nut Documentaries. Yetis, the sex tape. Oh, those squatches. Well, anyway, these squatches themselves, the Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, fucking Jimmy Grimble, whatever you want to call him, he's been spotted quite a lot recently.
Jimmy Grimble.
Well, I don't know. That's maybe what the tramp was called. I don't know. Why'd you sound like a chimp? I don't know. Well,
I'm Jimmy Grimble, and I'm on the search for bees.
well, has he got a documentary series as well? Coming soon to ITV1.
He thinks he has, but he's actually just talking into a can.
And then Channel 5 will retaliate with their fucking Robson Green's extreme pea hunting. And then Ross Kemp will go undercover in Iraq trying to find peas and stuff. Oh, Ross Kemp, you baldy twat. Anyway.
Bear Grylls will have his own show talking about how
he's going to change his name to Pete Grills.
No, he's going to show you how to survive in the wild drinking nothing but your own peas.
That's a step too far. No. Oh God. Well, the Yeti's been spotted quite a lot recently in the run up to this expedition, just as luck would have it, apparently. It says that the beast was apparently spotted in the Shorsky National Park, according to I almost said the TED newspaper then, but it's not, it's the Trud newspaper, Trud. They quoted government spokesman Sergei Adilakov, saying, simples. No, he said, the creature, hang on, Russian, right.
In Soviet Russia, Yeti spots you!
The creature did not look like a bear, and quickly disappeared after breaking some branches off the bushes. I play Tetris.
What?
I don't know, he's Russian, shut up.
So all Russians play Tetris?
Every Russian plays Tetris, it's the law. It's fucking murder trying to build a house there in Russia, because as soon as you get 4 bricks in a row, they disappear.
What the fuck was that?
When they build the skyscraper, as soon as they get it up to the top, it goes doodle-doodle-doo, and a rocket takes off. That's why there were so many Soviet launches in the 60s. It's just because they were just building shit as high as they could. Oh fuck. When the Siberian Times asked for further details, Adlyakov replied the sighting was private information, and that he had not intended for it to be made public. So why the fuck did he go to the newspaper?
Say,
guess what happened, but I can't tell you.
It's like you can. It's like he was ringing up just to be cocky. He's like, "Hey, news, yeah. Guess what happened? I don't know. Tell us. No, you have to guess."
It's like that scene in Father Ted.
I don't know.
Guess the guy's name.
You've spotted the Yeti. You've spotted the Yeti again.
Maybe
no.
I have. Maybe I haven't.
What made you think that? I have to go. Click.
Well, that's not the only sighting, apparently. It says, in August, fisherman Vitaly Vashinin, told the Siberian newspaper he had spotted two bear-like creatures drinking at the water's edge.
Could it possibly be a bear?
It's Bear Grylls drinking peas. He says, Vashinin says, when they noticed me, they easily stood straight upright and went away. I did not wish to chase them. He returned to the spot near Misky village with a TV crew, explaining he had initially believed the pair to be human. We shouted at them, "Do you need help?" As they just rushed away, all in fair, walking on two legs and making way through the bushes with two other limbs. What did we think? It could not be bears, as bears walk on all fours, and they ran on two. And so then they were gone. I know what kind of bear it was. It was Yogi Bear. He was on two limbs.
Hey, boo-boo. I'm stuck in Russia.
Oh, Yogi. Let's go and
I've come to find some picnic baskets, but all I can find is peas.
He was in Shininin's basket looking for peas. Hey. Ranger Smith's on his way to fucking take them out.
Mm.
Oh boy, these Yetis are really pissing me off.
What, is he suddenly played by Stan Lee?
Oh boy! Excelsior! Yetis! On Alpha Flight, they've got the Wendigo, but I've got the Yeti! Anyway.
Christ.
There was another account reported to officials in the Kuzbas region. They spotted some tall animals looking like people on a rock above the Masru River. The Masrus River, whatever.
I like that all of these sightings so far, they're like, oh yeah, we've spotted them. Did you get a picture? No. Why would we do that?
No, why? No, I wasn't asking you about the Monsters remake. I was asking, did you take a photo? Oh, no.
Oh god, no, actually, scroll down. There's this one just under the bit that you're reading where, this oh. I was going to say this.
He's wearing a jacket.
It's got to totally be a Yeti.
That's how you can tell the difference of Yetis that wear jackets. The unknown
he's obviously the dude that's hunting for peas.
Yeah, there he is. Bear Grylls looking a bit skinny these days, man. He says, our binoculars were broken, convenient, and did not let us see them sharply. We waved at the animals, but they did not respond. They quickly ran back into the forest, walking on two legs. We realised they were not in dark clothes, but covered in dark fur. They did walk like people.
Wait, so what's that? Is they like, oh, at first we thought it was a homeless black man.
Where did you get that from, that statement? I thought it was Ernie Hudson on Downtime since Ghostbusters, but no, it wasn't. Neither was it Michael Pitt from Police Academy. Is it time for Police Academy 8 yet? No, it's not. Back into the woods I go!
Oh, it's like...
What are you doing that for, Michael? I'm pretending I'm the Yeti and scaring people off.
It was like, well, at first we thought it was a Yeti, but then it ran off making helicopter noise.
Tap dancing on gravel. My God, there's a Yeti. He's flying away in his Yeti copter. Oh, Yetis, they're so crazy. So that's added even more interest in the Yetis, as I say, conveniently just before they're off to look for them. There we go. Right, what have we got next? Okay. Next story I've got is, this is an interesting one about a man. Right, okay. They're usually about men. I don't tend to do many animal-based stories, to be fair. Let's see. A 46-year-old resident of Waukesha, Wisconsin, was spotted by an off-duty policeman who was jogging in the Pebble Valley area. This is reported by the Waukesha Patch, which I believe you can get cream for. It says, Gerald P. Streeter was charged last week with 1 count of lewd and lascivious behaviour and faces up to 9 months in jail plus a £10,000 fucking hell, I can't speak. A $10,000 fine, that's £6,175, if convicted. His crime? He was fucking a couch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. DFS. Damn fucking sex with couch.
DFS are going to hire us to do their adverts as well. DFS, goosh.
What can CSL be? Couches look sexy. Oh, not CLS, damn. Couches, sexy looking. Maybe.
CLS, come laden sofas.
No, it's CSL, dude.
CSL. Come stained leather.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, I'm trying to think of one of the sofa stores there are now. Yeah,
to Google.
No, I can't remember. Oh, well. That'll do. So, yeah, the criminal report states that Streeter was, quote, thrusting his hips as if he was having sex with a person on the yellow sofa by the side of the road. So he wasn't even in his house. He was outside shagging a street sofa.
that sofa was ghetto, yo.
God, makes Howard the Duck feel lucky when he landed on that armchair in the middle of the alley. God knows what's been happening.
God. This guy was like, oh, this one's got a duck as a decoration. Like, ah!
Do you want to use Old Faithful? The officer shouted, "What are you doing?" to Streeter, causing him to run off. He was then chased by the policeman, but managed to escape inside an apartment block. His name was found by the officer after he contacted his colleagues. Police returned to the apartment the next day and spoke to the man's wife, but she told them he had done nothing wrong. Police spoke to Streeter at his local hotel workplace, but he denied he was outside during the time of the incident. So, it's policeman and his eyes versus this dude saying, "No, it wasn't me."
Yeah.
I think we know who's going to win there. But, I mean, seriously? Sexy sofas? That's ridiculous, man.
I've heard of having sex on a sofa.
I've done that.
So have I. But never with a sofa.
No.
I'm considering trying now, because it's apparently appealing.
God. Oh, God, he's moved from shower fridges to sofa sex.
Because why not?
No, you're thinking of the monsters there, and it's more of a case of no, why? 2 monsters gags. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, right. Next one I've got is, do you remember we were talking a little while back about the zombie experiences, where you go to like the shopping centre or the country manor?
Yeah.
The zombies and stuff.
I remember.
Well, there's another one now, where it's a case of you're not inside the country manor or the shopping centre. No, you're out in the woods now, and this one you're not up against zombies. You're up against werewolves.
Oh, that sounds intriguing.
It says the terrifying overnight activity, which takes place in Droitwich, comes in the same team who provided the zombie boot camp. And you can, if you wanted to, you can grab it on wish.co.uk, chilisauce.co.uk, and buyagift.co.uk. Let's see. It says, on the night, participants will be trained and equipped with gear including a stab vest. Stab vest? Okay. Bump cap.
It's like, all of our werewolves are actually chavs in disguise wanting to steal your wallet.
It's Shabby Baz, the werewolf. Here, mate, I'm gonna bite you.
Here, mate, it's a full moon. Give me 20p for lycanthropes, mate, dickhead.
But I think you'll find these werewolves aren't allowed in this kind of part of the country. So fuck you.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne, you adopted the werewolves. I was born with them.
Nobody cared about me if I became a werewolf.
Maybe he's wondering why you'd bite a man before you threw him off a plane.
Okay, so you get your stab vest, you get your bump cap, whatever that is, sounds like a hard hat, and safety spectacles, sexy. Bringing a torch and...
So it's basically werewolves versus builders. That's how they should market it. Werewolves versus builders.
Coming soon from British films. Werewolves versus builders. Fucking hell, there's another fucking werewolf on sight. Let's drop some bricks on his head. You got your stab vest on, Barry.
Let me get a cup of tea.
Hey, boss, we're working it night. We get overtime for this.
I'm sorry, I've just got a mental image of them being attacked by werewolves, and then one guy just stood there going, "Hey, Barry, they're not supposed to be on site," and then another one just ploughing into all the werewolves with a bulldozer.
This is completely against health and safety regulations. Oh, God, I'm going to start writing that script. Oh, God. Werewolves versus builders, seriously, that's a brilliant idea. Okay, so you're armed with booby traps and tripwires, and those participating are tasked with trying to catch the werewolves. They state that the werewolves are strong, fast, and cunning, and it will take all your smarts to tackle these monsters on their own turf under cover of darkness. So, we're still talking about werewolves, we'll be back on the Yetis.
It's alright, they're both just old men looking for peas.
Builders versus old men looking for peas.
Builders.
No, mate.
Yeah, but that sounds like a Channel 5 documentary. Builders versus the homeless.
No, Sergey. Those bricks in a row. It says you'll get up close and personal, with Wolfie and his pals. They'll be trying to rip your throat out, and you'll be trying to survive. That sounds lovely.
Kiff.
Your base will be attacked, and your safety will be compromised, and not everyone will make it. So there's every chance you may die on this night out, apparently.
That's what the stab vest is for.
That's what the chavs are for.
Dickhead, you're a dickhead.
Okay, Baz, there's only 3 of us left and only 2 people can survive inside this werewolf-proof cottage. I'm afraid you've got to die. Oh, fucking hell, man. At least have 20p for bus off. No.
Only 20p for bus, mate, you dickhead.
You won't need 20p where you're going, Baz. Where am I going? Inside
to the future!
The future! We've come back from the future to look for peas!
Oh, God. So, if you want to have a go with that, that'll cost you £149 or $242. Yeah, there we go. What's next? Oh, right, okay. We're going back to America now. We're going back to Florida, which is one of our favourite places in America, because if you don't die from drugs, you'll have your face eaten off. Yes, this is all to do with a man called Michael Smeriglio, or something to that effect anyway. In St. Lucie, Florida. He was cleaning his brand new gun when he accidentally pulled the trigger. Shot himself in the penis and testicle.
Ouch.
Yes. The bullet lodged itself in his thigh after travelling through his genitals. Excuse me. First Smeriglio, or whatever his name is, Smeagol.
Smeriglio!
He's now recovering from the injury, lied to the police, claiming another person shot him before admitting that he did it himself. Investigating the scene of the accident, police found marijuana in the house, leading to the arrest of the 22-year-old homeowner Joseph Lamar James, who they found eating someone's face. Oh no, sorry, that's bath salts, isn't it? Sorry, my mistake. Last year, Joshua Cito shot himself whilst penis in the shop. I'll start that again. Whilst penis shopping was going to. This is what this new guy's going to need to do.
Yeah, like,
Joshua Cito.
I'm off penis shopping. Ah, god damn it! I shot myself again.
Joshua Cito shot himself in the.
What the hell's that homeless man doing here? I'm looking for bees.
Aisle 6 man. Oh, fuck me balls! Wait a minute, I haven't actually been shot. Where did that gunshot noise come from? Yeti away! Fucking Winslow! I've told you!
Oh, don't worry, he's got stuck by that wall. Wait, he's moving the brakes.
That's just what we get for building our grocery store in Russia! And our final story this week. Oh, this is a nice one. Have you ever been to New Zealand, sir?
Only in my spirit.
Well, you may not want to go there in person, because if ever there was another reason not to go abroad, then this is one of them. There was a man in New Zealand, had to go to Auckland City A&E last week. He was sent for X-rays, which revealed a now identified object was lodged inside of him. That object was the size of an asparagus, but it was not an asparagus. It was an eel. Yes. The doctors said, we've got a source at the hospital. Okay. So, our insider voice, do you want to read this for us?
The eel was about the size of a decent sprig of asparagus, and the incident is the talk of the place. Doctors and nurses have come across people with strange objects that have got stuck where they shouldn't be before, but an eel has to be a first.
The man was
I've also found peas.
So that's where they are, smack!
Has anyone seen my cock? No. Have you tried the shop?
Do you want to see my cock?
It's on aisle 12. The man was later released from the hospital, and the eel was successfully removed from his anus. The Auckland District Health Board confirmed the incident this week, and a spokesman said, "We can confirm that an adult male presented at Auckland City Hospital this week with an eel inside him. Now further comment will be made out of respect for the patient's right to privacy. G'day, I'm gonna go and put some shrimps on the barbie. I appreciate that's Australia and this is New Zealand, but I can't do a fucking accent, alright? I love my kids, mate." It's currently unconfirmed how exactly the eel became stuck inside the patient. I think we all know. Bring the loot! Well,
I was reading the last line where it's like, a man in China had an eel removed from his bladder after it entered his body through his penis last year.
Oh, that sounds divine. Well, on that bombshell then, I think we'll leave it.
Oh god, the comments, the top comment from Facebook,
God.
Someone's joke. Apparently he went to hospital as he wasn't eeling very well.
Winslow! Well, on that bombshell, we're going to go out, and I'll let you all know that you can get in touch with us via our Twitter, at 50footnerds, rather, or individuals, mine being at Mike G. Bell. Andy, yours is?
Vaults of Extoth.
And as Paul mentioned earlier, his is at Auton Scouser. Drop us an email, 50footnerds@gmail.com. And then you can also like us up on Facebook. You'll be able to see all the pictures and videos discussed on this week's show. And that's on facebook.com/Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds. In that case, then, the only things left to say is that my name is Michael Winslow, dressed as the Yeti.
And my name is Professor Chimpanstein. And on with the strippers and a meat raffle.
Geek out, Naginis.
Wheels up inside ya, finding an entrance where they can. Wheels up inside ya, finding an entrance where they can. Boring through your mind, through your tummy, through your anus. Heels. 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 Give it up now. Heels. Give it up now. Heels. Give it up now. I was obsolete. I could never be staggering about on me old man's feet. I had 1 foot in the grave. Down the rave. Down the rave. It's a mashup. Give it up now. Mashup. Give it up now. Elements of the past. Give it up now. And elements of the future. Coming at ya. From the inside. Let me put you in the picture. Inside ya. Elements of the past and the future combining to make something not quite as good as either.
If you've enjoyed the nerddom in your ears, then please follow us on Twitter at 50footnerds, or email us anything except spam at 50footnerds@gmail.com.
So
Nice.
there we go. Right, we need to say something funny for the post-credits.
Did you find your peas?
Yes, I found them in the shop. They were on the floor next to some man's penis. I picked them up, and then I picked up my peas as well. Sheen. What?
Sheen?
Yeah. That's his sounder.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. See how quickly we forget.
It's like, turns out the homeless man was Michael Sheen the entire time.
Michael Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Who's Michael Sheen?
Michael Sheen is the actor who did, he was Tony Blair in The Queen, and he was the voice of the house on Doctor Who. You know, the planet that eats TARDISes.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
your TARDIS all belong to me.
That one.
It's like, I'm not letting this TARDIS go. Why? Because I've still not found my peas!
Beware the evil old man house planet creature from outer space. Oh, look, a Yeti.
Man. Do you know what they need to bring back? They need to bring back Bigfoot and the Hendersons.
What?
Yeah. Bigfoot and the Hendersons was a beast, dude. It was a Bigfoot that lived with people, and he couldn't speak. He'd just go, and that was it.
So it was basically Chewbacca.
It was essentially, yeah, Chewbacca lives with people. That was the sitcom.
What do you think, Yeti?
Oh, Yeti. Oh, crazy bastard. Oh, that's what they should bring in. You know, they have all them True Bloods and fucking Vampire Diaries and all that shit now. Is they should bring in Yetis. You know, do it like that Teen Wolf, but they turn into Yetis and not werewolves.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be boss. Imagine that.
Yeah, isn't Teen Wolf just like I'm a teenager, I'm a wolf. I used to be played by Michael J. Fox.
And also the guy from Arrested Development.
But now, I just dance.
Check me out, I'm dancing on top of a car as it rides along, and then I play baseball, not baseball, basketball.
And then there's a guy in the background showing his penis.
And then I get shot
Damn
off.
it, got shot off, and now...
And now a Yeti's at it and run away. But it wasn't really a Yeti. It was Michael Winslow from Police Academy.
And now I'm looking for peas.
Because now I'm an old man. I'm back in the future. 50 Foot Nerds, the musical. Coming soon.
I hope we have better lyrics than that, though.
No, we just go on and make it up every night.
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, yes, I'm here to tell you a story.
What is it about?
Peas.
Oh my god, oh look, there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my song. Yeah! I fucked the mid.
Just going, oh god, they're stuck on peas and yetis again.
Peas and yetis where the wind comes sleeping round the plane.
Bane would wonder why you'd throw him off a plane.
Because I can. Yes, he can. Because I can. Yes, I can. Because I can. Mr. Wayne. Christian Bale in an unknown cameo.
I was going to say, what the fuck was that?
It's Christian Bale doing Batman, singing in the 54 musical.
Okay. I just like that we managed to somehow get Christian Bale in our musical, and all that we say is, come on, growl a bit and leave. Is he stumbling around staring into a can?
Yeah, he's playing the old man looking for peas.
Peas.
The Dark Knight scrounges. Master Wade, you've taken 8 years off. What are you doing? I'm looking for peas.
Why is that, Master Wayne? Because I need peas. But I don't like peas. They're not the size of a tangerine.
They took it from me, Alfred. They took my
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't quite catch all that. I'm sorry, sir. Are you actually speaking English? No. You appear to have transformed into a Yeti, Master Wayne.
Wait, you're not Master Wayne. You're Michael Winslow.
Winslow away!